Hello, everyone. My name is Jaybird, and welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time, which would be here. I drifted to sleep and woke up flawlessly that next morning. No grogginess, no aches, perfectly energized and bright-eyed. Man, how long has it been since I got that much good sleep? I looked to my alarm clock. I woke up 10 minutes before my alarm. Well, hey, I must be lucky today. Don't jinx it. Karma owed me some luck. No, Karma doesn't owe you shit. Karma is a man. He doesn't owe you shit. I'm just kidding. Karma is a man. I know Karma. He doesn't owe you shit. Cinderella phenomenon. Karma owed me some luck. After all I had gone through in merely a handful of days, I deserved to get some good luck. You don't deserve shit. No one does. Ecstatic for the day ahead, I turned off my alarms before they could ring and got dressed. However, my phone started to quickly buzz from an incoming text. Huh? Who's texting me this early?
Yo, Anderson! You're carpooling with us from now on. We're not letting you waste your money on a bus. Get ready and be at your gate at 7 stat.
Why is there an echo? Where are you, Suzu? I smiled. My friends were the best. They were, but they're not anymore. I couldn't drive yet, and I didn't have a car, so it was awesome that my friends would let me carpool. I checked the time, 6:30. Perfect! I can eat some breakfast before they come. I packed my bag and carried it downstairs towards the kitchen. As I entered the dining room, I saw a plate with eggs, toast, and bacon sitting on the table. A fresh, steaming cup of coffee sat next to the plate with the sugar and creamer on the side. I walked to the table and couldn't believe what I was seeing. Who made this? As I spoke aloud, a small red note caught my attention. Have a good day, yours. My heart skipped a beat as I finished. As you finished eating, or as you finished reading? Because that would be really weird if you just had a sudden realization, like, who was it from? Like, right after you finished eating. That doesn't make sense. I could tell it was from one of the boys. Oh, really? Maybe it was from him? I smiled before putting the note in my bag and eating up. Okay, never mind then. The food was so delicious. I devoured every amazing bite. I looked to the time again. Time to go. I quickly rushed to the doors, checking myself in the passing mirror. I wasn't wanting to impress anyone, but I still needed to look decent. Before I could reach the handle of the door, however, someone took my hand. Huh? Oh shit, it's Sam! What? Honey, what are you doing, huh? Whew. This is a little bit too sudden now, huh? Even though we fucking kissed in the last episode. This is going way too far. You can't touch my hand like that, boy. I turned to see Sam, who was holding my hand back with a stern look on his face.
My name
is Jeff. My name is Jeff. Yeah. Your name?
My true name isn't Sam. I want you to know my real name if something happens.
Okay. His true name. I know what it means! What did he mean? Why was he telling me this now? I remembered reading about a demon's name from the journal I read yesterday. If you knew a demon's true name, you could summon them to you no matter where you were or where they were. Jam! You got me in quite a jam, Sam! Ow! Oh God, kill me. I feel like cancer. Sam gently pulled me to him and leaned close to whisper in my ear.
My name is Amaris.
Amoris? Okay? As he said his name, I could feel it lock into my memory. Something in my head would make sure I would never forget it. Sam pulled away and stared at me, despite still carrying worry in his eyes.
If you're in any danger, any time, it doesn't matter when, call my name. I promise that I'll come and help you.
Oh, Sam, you're hurting my heart. Oh, my heart can't handle this shit. This is the sounds of someone dying. Of romance. Of really, really cheesy romance. But I don't care. I don't care anymore. This is me. I stared up at Sam, unable to say anything. I could only nod in response. Sam nodded back before releasing my hand and heading into the dining room. Something told me that name would be used eventually. And right on cue, Naomi drove up to the gates with Suzu waving me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about the homework and the coming day. Wonderful. Let's do some girl talk. Did you see Brittany's new tattoo? I can't believe it. She's only 17. You can only get tattoos when you're 18. I can't believe it. And oh my God, Justin. Did you see Justin? I don't know what I'm doing with my life. We made it into the school without a hitch. Our lockers. Wait, so the doors are unhitched? No, those are unhinged. I don't know. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall, so we quickly unloaded what we needed to go, and got what we needed to. Oh my God, I'm a fucking idiot. What we needed to, and got our important books and necessities. All the necessities, a simple Don't copyright this, Disney. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Suzu and Naomi, who were both waiting for me on the opposite side of the hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall forward. Well, ow!
Hey, are you okay?
No.
Who did that?
Yo, Mom. The three of us looked back to Lasagna. The three of us looked back to Lasagna and her gaggle of girls. Lasagna had a look of complete innocence, while the girls around her giggled like no tomorrow.
Why, you little... Suzu, don't!
Do it. I felt a giant fire of anger burn in my stomach as I stared at Lasagna. That sounds like you have indigestion or something. Maybe you ate something bad. Today was not the only time this had happened. Or maybe you're on your period. This had happened to me. However, it was now clear who was behind these incidents. Even if she was innocent and one of her goons did it, it was now obvious that Lasagna was the mastermind just from the look on her face. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. Well, there's different things we can choose. Last time we glared into her soul. We could get her, or we could stand up and walk away. I would... Well, doesn't matter which one we choose, I guess. Because it doesn't... whatever one we choose doesn't really affect the romance we have with Sam. So, you know what? I want to see what happens when we get her. Hell yeah, I'd had enough. Oh, hell yeah! Hell yeah! I felt adrenaline rush through my body as I pounced off of the ground and rushed at Lasagna. I was not going to be the only one with scrapes this time. I tackled Lasagna to the ground, swiping and slapping her innocent face. She screamed in fright before trying to push me off and block my attacks.
Holy shit! Anderson!
Hell yeah!
Stop it!
No! I was wasn't listening anymore. I let my carnal need to get revenge take over as I began to pull at Lasagna's hair to get better aim at her face with my free hand. I'd had enough of the bullying, the wounds, the insults. All of that was going to burn in the past as I scraped my nails and hand across Lasagna's face over and over. My rebellion would be marked on her pretty face for all to see. Lasagna pushed me off and scrambled to her feet, both panicked and angry at the same time. Her emotion was nowhere close to the anger I was feeling.
Are you crazy? What the hell?
I stood up very slowly, glaring daggers into Lasagna's soul through her eyes. I must have had some sort of monster behind me, or maybe I looked like the monster myself, but the gaggle of girls, Lasagna, and even my friends had a look of pure terror on their faces. I have had enough of you, Lasagna! It sounds like we're some fat person, like, I've had enough of you. We're like Garfield on a diet. We're like, I had enough of you, Lasagna. You made me a fat cat. I have had enough of you, Lasagna. Or Lisette. You obviously won't stop unless I fight back. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it! I charged at Lasagna a second time, shoving her hard against the lockers. She let out a yelp of pain as she smacked the back of her head against the metal behind her before glaring and shoving me back. As I stumbled back, Lasagna raised her hands ready to fight.
Then come on, Anderson. Show me what you've got. I bet it's not much.
Bitch, I just slapped you so much, and you didn't fight back until now. I felt myself snarl in anger before raising my own fist, remembering my taekwondo. Yay, we got it! We finally get to see our taekwondo! I quickly snapped onto one leg and raised the leg to get a swift kick at her head, but she blocked with her arm and stepped towards me to jab at me. She had training. Not surprising. I didn't care at that moment. I bent back away from the incoming jab, reestablishing my balance as I placed both feet on the floor. Lasagna threw jab upon jab at me, forcing me to block my torso and face with my arms and hands. Hit for hit, Lasagna and I exchanged and defended blows at each other. It was indeed more than just a cat fight. This was a vengeful duel. In my mind, all I saw was Lasagna. All I wanted to do was to make her stop, and if that meant beating her down, then it had to be done. We eventually gained a small crowd of people, silent but observing the fight. My anger intensified and my hits became harder with each second that passed between us. I couldn't let her win. I wouldn't let her win. None of Lasagna's girls dared to step in, apparently afraid to after seeing our skills and our individual fighting styles. Suzu was held back by Naomi's arm, despite both of them wanting to help me. They didn't wait long for it to end, though. Suddenly, Lasagna was pulled away from me and I was pushed against the lockers by a strong force. Lasagna hit the lockers as well on the opposite end of the hallway, letting out a girly grunt of pain. Ugh! Ugh! Oh, great. I looked up to see my art teacher, Miss Gordon, holding me back against the lockers with a look of surprise and serious concern on her face. Yay, new character! Glad I went down this road. Her arm looks really fucked up, though. Both of our arms look fucked up, though. You might want to get those checked out.
Miss Anderson, what are you doing?
She was fighting. Blame it all on her. I looked up to see Lasagna being held back by Miss Phillips, starting to cry innocently. I knew what was going to come out of her mouth, so I tried to push Miss Gordon off to confront her. Miss Gordon, however, kept an arm wrapped around me, keeping me back. No! Don't you dare start crying, Lasagna! You started this!
Miss Anderson, get a hold of yourself!
No. What is wrong with you? What did I ever do to you? I couldn't stop the angry tears running down my face as I shouted across the hallway. Lasagna and Miss Phillips stared in shock at my screams as Miss Gordon tightened her hold on me. I am so sick of it! Leave me alone! Eventually, I lost my energy and began to weigh down on Mrs. Gordon's arms, letting my sadness take over and quench my anger with tears and swelling pain. I could feel Miss Gordon hug me to her to keep me upright as Lasagna, not Lisette, snuffled and confided with Miss Phillips.
I didn't do anything to her. She just attacked me all of a sudden.
Lies.
That's a lie, Lisette. You tripped her on purpose. You've always been a snobby prick to us.
Never! I gave my condolences about her grandfather's death. I try to keep everyone calm. Is that so wrong?
You didn't even sound sincere. We know you were only pretending to be nice to spite us.
Enough! Miss White, follow me to the dean's office.
Ooh. Lasagna followed, wiping her tears in the feigned innocence she knew how to play up. I remained still in Mrs. Gordon's arms, unable to bring myself to fight to get at Lasagna again. I had done my damage. The gaggle of lasagna wannabes would make sure I became infamous around the school. I didn't care. I made my statement on Lasagna's face and body, and I wasn't afraid to do it again. Miss Gordon, however, wasn't done with me.
Come with me, sweetie.
Wasn't she Mrs.? Sorry, I keep saying Ms. Phillips and shit. I know it's Mrs., I think, but I don't care that much. I nodded and followed. My friends frowned as they watched me leave, but they headed to class without me. Ms. Gordon led me to an empty classroom, which she had claimed as hers. It looked like all of the other classrooms, but art posters lined the walls. Sure, many students loved the room, but hated one thing, the mirror in the very back of the room. It was the one thing Ms. Gordon loved to use against her students. With it, she was able to see who was using their phones and who was actually studying. Ms. Gordon led me back to the back of the room and sat me down in front of it.
What do you see?
I thought it was gonna be like a giant mirror everywhere, but whatever. Also, your eyes are different colors, and that freaks me out. Not really. I see a lady who's leaning over me with her arm. What is going on with her arm? Her hand in that angle? That angle of her arm doesn't, and the angle of her hand that's resting on the shoulder, that doesn't connect. That doesn't connect. That doesn't connect at all. God. It doesn't look right. I'm sorry. Also, our eyes are asymmetrical, which is another problem. I should just do a critique on all this. Make separate videos like, this is what's wrong with this. Maybe I should take a screenshot of this. Just to show how terrible it is, but then use it as point of reference. See, this is an example of how terrible this game's art is sometimes, I mean, it's a good game, good story, but the art kind of sucks. It's kind of lackluster compared to the stuff, God. I don't think I'm gonna use that as a thumbnail because it's so bad, but whatever. Huh?
Tell me what you see.
Dick. I looked in the mirror and saw myself. And her. My clothes were a little ruffled from the fight. They don't look that ruffled. But beyond that, I just saw me. Nothing about me seemed different than normal. I see myself.
All right. What else?
What else? I don't understand.
Do you know what I see?
You?
I see a brilliant woman who has been working her butt off to try and find herself. She just has a little bit of adversity in her way. Adversary?
Did you say adversary? It's adversity. God. art. Well, I mean, she is an art teacher. Actually, art teachers are pretty good. I love them. You can say ass, you know. What does this have to do with what happened with lasagna?
Listen, don't think about Lisette right now.
Lasagna.
She's just another student who doesn't know what you're going through.
Lasagna. You got her name wrong. It's lasagna. It's pronounced lasagna. I stared at myself in the mirror, unable to tear my eyes away. She was right, but I still lingered on what happened with lasagna. I know Ms. Gordon was only trying to help, but I couldn't fight the thoughts in my head. Ms. Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders. Honey, you're getting a little frisky, snapping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile down at me through the mirror.
You know, those were some pretty interesting moves. Taekwondo.
Yes. Yeah.
You'll have to show me one day.
Hell yeah! I laughed as she hugged me gently.
Look, don't let Lisette get to you, okay? You have your own battles to face, and you can face them just fine. Instead of fighting Lisette, focus on your goals.
Okay. I looked up at her and nodded slightly. It was cliche to hear, but she was telling the truth. I needed to focus on myself first. She gave me a small packet of tissues and told me that she would handle lasagna. The fear about my family learning of this that had quickly appeared had vanished when she promised to keep me out of it as much as she could.
Everything will be fine now. You're a good student, so I'll let you off with a severe warning. Just don't get into any more fights, okay? Now, head to class.
Yes, ma'am. I nodded before heading to class. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. As the bell rang for school to end, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. Which pocket? Is it your natural one? Woo! Huh? A text from Dad? I'll be picking you up today. Make sure you're ready to go when I get there. That's kind of a surprise. I quickly headed back to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi and Suzu.
Hey, are you ready to go?
Actually, my dad's picking me up.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
No, nothing makes sense anymore.
We'll drive home together next time. Tell your dad that we got you covered from now on.
So you're not gonna say anything about, the fight? Haha. Yeah! Alright. Even while I laughed, something didn't seem right. My dad texted me to say this? Why was he going to pick me up? Had I done something wrong? I didn't know. You fought lasagna! You punched lasagna in the face! Like a boss. I waved goodbye to Naomi and Suzu before heading off to the usual spot where my dad picks me up. I took the time to listen to my music while I waited. I need to go to another Rise of the Phoenix concert. Eventually, I had played the entire album with no one showing up. What the heck? Dad's never late, especially not this late. I quickly dialed my dad's number again, but as soon as I pressed call, it disconnected and read a signal disconnection error message. What the? No signal error? How do I not have signal? I double-checked my phone and saw all 5 bars for signal. He must be in a dead zone. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed at my hands, feet, and covered my mouth. I screamed into the hand over my mouth, struggling to pull away from the hands grabbing at my limbs. It felt disgusting and scary, feeling their hands on me. I needed it to stop. What's better or worse? What would you rather have? Hands grabbing all over you or tentacles grabbing all over you? Whew!
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's prey.
The voice which sent a fearful shiver down my spine. Oh, it's a spooky, scary skeleton, whispered into my ear.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
That doesn't really sound like whispering, just sounds more like talking. I couldn't fathom what was happening, but before I knew it, I was blindfolded and my limbs were quickly tied up. I felt myself being carried somewhere and was shoved into something that echoed the interior of a bus or van. The doors closed and off I was taken, unsure of where I was going and why. You're being kidnapped and you're gonna be held for ransom. All I knew was that I was in trouble. Brilliant. Anyone would make that simple observation, huh? That's so obvious. All I saw was darkness. I felt numb as I was taken to a place I didn't know of. I couldn't even move my lips to scream. Oh, they sewed your mouth shut. Great. Sounds zipped past my ears, first of the interior of a car, then the outside, then an echoey space with whispers and cackles of people vibrating through it. Ugh. Vibrating people. Let's actually try to read what the graffiti says. So that says like Smoochie, BBQ, drink my, me, lol, something, Mars, hut, Uger. I guess that's sugar. Sugar. Do you want a cup of sugar? However, the wrap around my eyes was eventually removed from my face and my bonds were cut. It took a while for my eyes to adjust, but I found myself in a warehouse surrounded by devils, including Malix, who was smirking at me.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere for you.
Actually, the correct term for a little mansion would be a McMansion, but I'm not sure. Malix walked over and set the barrel of his gun against the skin between my eyes.
It'll be so funny when they find your dead body instead.
I know, right? I'm already dead inside. Oh shit, I'm supposed to say I'm supposed to say his name. Maurice! Great. All of a sudden, a bright purple light engulfed the room, causing the devils around me to cover themselves.
What the?
Cover themselves with what? Oh my. Gusts of wind rushed past me, almost forcing me back. I covered my face with my arms, bracing myself and standing my ground. I tried to peek through my arms to see what was going on, but the light continued to shine brightly. As the gust slowly started to die, the light began to fade, revealing a very pissed off Sam. Sam?
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you, Sam! I love you! Woo! At that moment, Sam didn't even give Malix a chance to breathe. As I blinked, I saw Sam's fist ram itself into Malix's cheek, never mind, sending the devil flying back against the wall of the warehouse we were in.
You motherfucker!
Me. Sam was relentless. He quickly followed Malix to the wall and began slamming his fists into Malix's body. An imprint of Malix's body began to form into the wall as Malix was beaten in. Oh my god, so anime. The remaining devils stared, trying to figure out what to do. Help Malix or watch in silence. I guess they're already doing the second one. Eris, however, walked up beside me and crossed her arms as she watched with an amused smirk on her face.
Yes! Ah!
Ooh. With a blast of heat, Sam was forced back from Malix. Sam slid on the balls of his feet. Oh. God damn it! Covering his face from the burst of heat that forced him back. Malix, on the other hand, was practically on fire. His menacing eyes glared deadly daggers at Sam. Deadly daggers at Sam as Malix gripped his gun. I guess.
You're dirty, Incubus!
Malix pried himself from the wall and began to fire hot bullets at Sam. Why not cold bullets, huh? What had gone against cold bullets? However, none of the shots made it to Sam's body. In the blink of an eye, Sam had disappeared from his spot and reappeared at Malix's side, ready to lay a heavy punch to Malix's head.
Too slow!
Woo! You're too slow. Malix, though, wasn't as slow as Sam thought. Malix quickly turned to shoot at Sam, who barely had the time to dodge it. It quickly turned into a fight of Sam using his speed to dodge and try to hit Malix, and Malix using his gun and devil-like skills to try and lock onto Sam's appearing form. It was almost too fast to follow. He's Sanic. However, I could tell something inside Sam had changed. He wasn't holding anything back in this fight. It was as if something incredibly demonic had taken a hold of him and forced each punch he threw and each step he made. Was this the extent of demon power? I didn't have a chance to answer myself. As Sam tried to dodge Malix, Sam tripped and landed on one knee with a loud thump. Ooh, Sam.
Gotcha, bitch!
Gotcha, bitch! Oh my god. I gasped in horror. Sam had no chance to dodge or run. I could only stare petrified as Malix charged forward and jammed the barrel of his gun into Sam's mouth.
Eat hellfire, Incubus!
Woo! Then, at that moment, glowing green, something in the air changed. Oh, did someone fart? The air instantly went from frantic to still in energy. What could have been described in tone as the color of red quickly turned into a deadly mix of purple and green as everything began to blend together all at once. My eyes never strayed from Sam's face, however, even as it changed. His eyes began to glow a bright golden color as Sam began to bite down on the gun in his mouth. Woo! As the trigger was pulled, the gun was snapped in two between Sam's teeth. Woo! Small fragments of the gun flew everywhere while the look on Malix's face went from confused to petrified. Before Malix could utter a single response, Sam let out a giant animalistic roar, sending waves of fear down my spine and tackled Malix to the ground. Ah, nice thumbnail image. Hell yeah! We're gonna get bored. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna get bored by Sam. That's what I would call this image. Getting bored by Sam, my fanfiction. Chapter 1. Sam eats me. I am eaten by Sam. I am swimming in digestive fluid. The end. Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam. You got some black stuff in your mouth. You might need to brush your teeth and your face. But anyways, I stared as Sam began to slam punches into Malix's face, one right after the other. Right one after another. Sam's skin began to morph and shift with each punch, changing from human to something else. Before I was allowed to see Sam's new form, however, a pair of hands quickly covered my eyes. Instinctively, I reached up and gripped them, trying to pull them off. A voice stopped me.
It's me. Don't look.
Okay, Damien. I listened carefully and let the last two words linger in my mind. Don't look. Why? What was being hidden from me? I wanted to know, but something told me to obey Damien's command. I could still hear Sam screaming and grunting with each punch he rammed into Malix's face, with the occasional cracking of bone and blood splatter echoing in the air. Maybe it was better that I wasn't able to see.
That's enough, Sam!
No, keep going, Sam! Almost instantly after James's command, the sound stopped. The only thing anyone could hear then was Sam's pants and grunts for air. That's hot. Whew!
Malix is dead, and you've lost your glamour spell.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay, Sam. Glamour spell? What did he mean? Why did Sam sound so different? He doesn't sound that different. Why was this being hidden from me?
It's a spell that makes us look human.
Okay. I froze. Look human? They didn't look like humans after all? What did they look like? It's not that big of a difference, really.
Like demons.
Yeah, what did demons look like? As if Matthew knew what Damien was talking about, Matthew spoke up, followed by the sound of a cork popping out of a bottle.
Well, not for much longer. Here.
Have a Gatorade.
Let's go. You gotta regain your glamour spell and you're all out of energy. Come on.
Woo.
Fine. Whatever.
Same. I could hear the small clinking of glass being passed before hearing Sam guzzle down a liquid of some sort. The feel of the air around me gently began to warm back up, insinuating that everything had been returned to normal. Finally, Damien moved his hands from my eyes, allowing me to see around me once again. The devils, including Eris, had fled. On top of Malix's body was dirty sheet. Introducing dirty sheet. Yay! On top of Malix's body was a dirty sheet that was quickly turning red from blood. Okay. I could see that Malix's face was completely caved in, making a tip in a blanket. Caved in, oh no. The boys, however, had gathered around me, all of them, including Sam, looking like nothing had happened. What just... I tried to speak, but everything zipped around in my head at the whole event, and I felt like speaking wasn't possible.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
Okay. I could only nod. Seems like we're doing a lot of nodding here. What had happened boggled my mind to the point of disbelief. I was second-guessing everything, lost in a sea of what and how and when. As we walked out of the warehouse, I looked to Sam for some form of sign that I wasn't dreaming. Sam kept his eyes down and away from me. Oh. It was over! It was over. Malix was gone, and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body at the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a ping of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
Yay.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
What about humans?
I'm just tired. Can I hit the hay early?
Yeah.
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
Yep. I looked to Damien, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts on the situation. Yeah, that sounds good. I wanted to just end tonight. Too much had happened, and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Damien spoke up, stopping all of us from moving.
Should we be gone in the morning?
No. The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. They had remembered their deal and were now awaiting me to decide their fate. I gulped face to face with the reality of the situation. The boys were leaving it up to me. They looked like they were willing to accept whatever I had demanded. It was only fair, though, after all that had happened. I looked to Sam, feeling my heart flutter in my chest. I didn't want him to leave, but would he ask to stay? I hoped that he would say no and ask me to stay longer. As if he knew what I wanted, Sam moved forward and stepped to me, putting his hands in his pockets and looking down at the ground. He was still ashamed of what he had done, but he spoke to me regardless.
Hey, I kinda wanted to thank you for your energy and stuff. Well, kinda wanna stay here. Can we stay here? Please?
You're making me squeal like a fangirl, Sam! I had to cover my mouth to stop myself from squealing. Whew! Until he was finished talking. My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. How do you know? The boys stared at Sam wide-eyed, but didn't dare to speak out. Sam stepped back to give me space, returning to where he was. I moved my gaze across each boy, trying to make a decision. Okay, y'all can stay, but one of you gotta go. If they left in the morning, I would never see them again and my life could return to normal. If I did decide to let them go, that would have been for the best. No goodbyes, no delays. But did I want to? They had done so much for me in such a small amount of time. We're gonna let them stay, 'cause we love them. Let them stay. I wanted them to stay. I wanted him to stay. I merely smiled, staring at the man. Whoo! Whoo! I merely smiled, staring at the man I had come to have feelings for, before speaking at last. I would love it if you all could stay. Okay. The boys cheered tiredly. Yay! But nonetheless enthusiastically. Yeah! I giggled at the sight. It was cute to see everyone so excited, despite the tiredness that ran equally through our bodies. Today was a rough day. Whew. My home is your home. Mi casa es su casa. As long as you can still help with the chores. I guess it wouldn't be mi casa es su casa because that would only be for like one person, but that's a group. So what would that be? I had Spanish for a year and I can't even answer my own question because I'm kind of failing at life. kind of failing at life here, okay? The boys nodded in unison, agreeing to the terms I had set for them. Despite the good situation, I felt myself slowly slipping into unconsciousness. However, James quickly clapped his hands together, getting everyone's attention and waking me up, making sure I didn't pass out on the floor. No, that would be fine. Just let me sleep on the floor. That'd be fine. I'm sure
All
it's
right,
clean.
everyone. We're all very tired, so let's head to bed, shall we?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sleep is actually a thing. Right.
How did you forget that?
We've had a very long day, but it will be good to just relax tonight and tomorrow.
Yep.
Sleep sounds really good right now.
Okay, we don't have to comment on how much sleep is nice, okay? We get it. Sleep is good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, stick it to the man, Sam. I watched a happy smile grow onto Sam's lips. And I don't think that's how it works. He shared my excitement knowing that we would be together longer. Who knew how long we would stay together? All I cared about was that I would be with him. The others quickly left to finally rest, leaving me and Sam alone at last. My heart fluttered a bit as Sam walked closer to me, looking to his feet. He was nervous, but it was really cute to see him that way, so I didn't do anything but smile. Yeah, I know, they're cute. Cute boys are cute.
Hey, thanks for letting us stay.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Sam. I'm happy to have you stay here. I watched his smile brighten a bit before he cleared his throat and looked up at me with a serious face. Oh, hello, huh? I didn't know if it was the tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I felt myself sway a bit on my feet. However, Sam's face made it clear that he wanted to say something else, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
Hey, it's fine, dude. No, it's fine. Exactly. No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. I had accepted everything that happened and knew that Sam had to do what he had to do. He was real and he was I thought that said so awesome. He's so awesome. He was real and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. Sam nodded before holding out a hand to me. Oh, honey, what?
come on. Let's get you to bed.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking my hand and taking me to bed. Thank you. Oh, Sam! We didn't even establish anything yet, honey. I nodded before Sam gently lifted me up into his arms like a bride. I thought he was gonna hold your hand, but and carried me to my room. Okay, thank you for that. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against Sam's chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with my bed covers. Wow, come full circle. I was still in my school clothes, but I was too tired to strip or care. I don't care anymore. I looked to Sam, fighting a yawn from escaping me as he gently ran a hand over my hair. Oh, honey, what?
Get some sleep, all right? I'll make some breakfast again for you in the morning.
Oh, Sam. I nodded with a tired smile before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. A wave of happiness washed over me as I laid in bed. I made a good choice. Sure, it would be hard, but I could tell that I would be able to manage it. Help around the house and being with a man whom I was slowly starting to fall for would be worth it. I slowly felt my exhaustion take over. I let sleep consume me as I drifted into the darkness in my mind. Everything was peaceful. I was happy. And of course this shit. Banana, seduce me the Otome. Seduce me at the Otome.
You are an interesting creature.
Oh god, and it's Diana. Well, guys, I'm gonna end it off here. If you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me the Otome, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!